It uses fingerprints could one day replace the mammogram. Researchers at Sheffield Hallam University in England say the test involves looking for certain proteins through the sweat on a patient's fingerprint. Researchers hope the test could be the first step in diagnosing breast cancer to avoid the more invasive mammograms and breast biopsies.
For health news, acetaminophen has been considered the safest over-the-counter pain med and fever reducer available during pregnancy.
But new research done locally shows it could impact your baby, and not in a good way. Tia Ewing back in Studio 32 talking with an expert about this. And Tia, I don't know about you during your pregnancy, but I certainly took it during mine.
Yeah, I was told to take it. That is for sure. I didn't listen to the doctor on this one, and perhaps that could have been a good thing. Here to talk about this new study from researchers at University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign is U of I Comparative Biosciences Professor Emerita Susan Shantz. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you just heard it there. Natalie and also I told to take acetaminophen during pregnancy. A lot of women are told to do so by their doctors if they want to avoid the pain. The study found that increasing the use of the drug, though, was associated with language delays in children. Professor, how many children were studied and what kind of delays did they experience?
So our study included around 300 children. And we looked at their language development at age 2 and 3 years. And what we found, especially at age 2, and especially with acetaminophen use in the 3rd trimester of pregnancy, that the children had reduced language vocabularies, spoke fewer words, and had shorter sentences.
So moms may be watching right now that are pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant. Based on the outcomes of this study, what should pregnant women do if a doctor tells them to take acetaminophen?
Well, currently acetaminophen is the only analgesic drug that's considered safe to take during pregnancy. Our studies suggest that there could be some risks associated with it, but for things like high fever or extreme pain, there are health risks from those things as well. And so if women are recommended to take by their doctors to take acetaminophen, they certainly should do so. However, I would say, based on our research, that it would also pay to be a little careful, and maybe if you would think twice about taking acetaminophen if you're having minor pain or discomfort that isn't really serious.
Now, based on the study that was done here locally by U of I, is there a potential for a larger study to be done on a grander scale, even beyond this?
Yes, we would hope so. Our study is actually part of a larger consortium of studies across the United States called ECHO. It's a national children's study, and there are large numbers of children involved. So in the future, we may have the opportunity to look at this in a much larger sample of children, which would give us more confidence that whether there's concern or not.
In terms of your study and in terms of the delays in children, is there any way to determine from your study how that impacts the children later on in life, or is that something that would have to be studied further?
That's a really good question. Our study is a longitudinal study, and we're continuing to follow the children, and we're continuing to look at their language development at later ages. So in the coming years, we should be able to answer that question about whether the delays that we're seeing in early childhood persist to later ages.
All right, well, we'll have you back so we can talk a little further about that as the study continues. U of I Comparative Biosciences Professor Emerita Susan Shantz, thank you so much for joining us and talking about this really important topic.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure. Natalie and Anthony, I'll send it back to you.
All right, fascinating.